Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel, and that didn't last long. Have you guys been looking at price today in the crypto markets? My gosh, it was pretty exciting this morning. Bitcoin rocketing up above $26,000, and XRP came along for the ride, as did most of crypto. Just, in terms of percentage gains, it's been more pronounced lately for Bitcoin, and that's fine. I don't mind Bitcoin leading the market. I understand that as Bitcoin does what it has always done historically, leads us out of bear markets. Then money rotates eventually from Bitcoin into large cap coins like XRP, and then mid cap, small cap, and then rinse and repeat. So I have no problem with that, and happy to see that XRP today did go along for the ride. But the problem is that this was about the briefest Bitcoin rocket ship ride in history. Not literally, but in recent history, yeah, this is a pretty brief move. I mean, to have such a monstrous move where we're actually notably above $26,000 and to have it last for just like snap of a finger and go back down. I looked at that and all I could do was just kind of laugh. I was like, well, welcome to crypto, everybody. Like, that's pretty much what it is here. So I want to talk about what led to the recent price action, including today, and there is a very clear reason that we saw what we saw. Not as much to the downside. It's probably more so just market participants getting exuberant, and it is what it is. It's irrational, it's emotional, speculators being speculators, but there was a good reason that we saw the move to the upside. And I also want to talk about how so many people have this false narrative as to why what we're seeing is happening, and it's just not correct. And I think it's provably the case. I know it's provably the case that it's not correct. So I thought I'd just break that down, just a quick update here. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this, XRP is at 37 cents. Bitcoin's at $24,533. Oops, I do dolls. Bitcoin, although at that price again, I'll show you what it got up to, but down substantially from that, but still technically up 1.56% over the last 24 hours. So hey, I guess we'll take that. Market cap for the asset class just a hair shy of 1.1 trillion. But look at Bitcoin dominance. For those of you looking at the screen, you can see where I'm circling. It might be small on your screen if you're using a phone or a tablet, but Bitcoin dominance up to 43.14%. The highest it's been over the last 30 days. Just hit. And again, that's just an indication that Bitcoin's leading the market like it always does, like you should expect it to do. This isn't rocket science here. I don't want Bitcoin to have anything to do with a rocket. Based on the current, quote-unquote rocket activity we've seen today, it's just like a failed SpaceX launch at this point because it went right back down to the earth, I'll tell you that. But Bitcoin dominance is doing what it does, moves to the upside. And again, like I said just right at the start of the video, money just cycles through. There's no reason to think that it's not going to do that in the future. You got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 56 out of 100, indicating market participants back in greed, but it only updates once every 24 hours, and it's another 2 hours until it updates. At the time I'm recording this, it is 4:56 p.m. Central Standard Time, so it'll be interesting to see what that moves to, given that we've seen a lot of excitement, followed by a crash right back on down. But look at this 24-hour Bitcoin chart. You can see it got to a high of $26,390. Now, XRP got as high as 38.6 cents. And let me just go back and forth. So here's XRP. For those of you that care to look at the screen, there's the XRP chart, 24-hour chart. Bitcoin, XRP, Bitcoin, XRP, Bitcoin did the same damn thing. XRP just came along for the ride, which, again, totally fine with. And historically, so even though you do see instances like this where the charts are so damn samey, and you don't expect to see that from time to time, when Bitcoin pops, just don't forget, and I'm not worried about this, but XRP historically anyway kind of lags behind. So even if we see some really exciting alt season, historically XRP lags behind. So if that happens, that's not going to be some sort of turnoff to me. I'll just be happy to, if we get to the point where I'm enticed to sell other coins, I'll sell them first. And if XRP is towards the end of that, that's fine. But it also may not be if you look at what's happening with the SEC v. Ripple case, because who knows? That's a question mark right there, because we don't know what the ruling is going to be. But if it's positive, you could have a blast off. XRP could be next, frankly, in terms of blast off mode. And the S&P 500, it's a hair up, but it basically was sideways for the day. So what led to the exciting move to the upside this morning? Well, take a look at this from CNBC. Inflation gauge increased 0.4% in February as expected and up 6% from a year ago. Inflation rose in February but was in line with expectations, likely keeping the Federal Reserve on track for another interest rate hike next week, despite recent banking industry turmoil. The Consumer Price Index increased 0.4% for the month, putting the annual inflation rate at 6%, the Labor Department reported Tuesday. Both readings were exactly in line with Dow Jones estimates. Excluding volatile food and energy prices, the core CPI rose 0.5% in February and 5.5% on a 12-month basis. The monthly reading was slightly ahead of the 0.4 estimate, but the annual level was in line. And so, in a nutshell, I don't really need to read the rest of the article. Basically, in terms of CPI, the latest numbers here that were released today, Target hit like right on point, actually, which doesn't frequently happen, but it was. And crypto markets responded rather favorably to that. It was really interesting to see, like, you see this headline. This is obviously from earlier today from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin explodes to $26,000. Crypto market surge triggers $320 million in liquidations. And it's just funny to look at that because it's like, damn, bitch, it ain't even been a full day. And here you have a cratering back to the downside. Like, that's why I said, like, what can you do but laugh with stuff? Like, just crypto's crypto. Like, I'm here for the volatility anyway. It's just funny when it happens. It's just that quick to the upside, that quick to the downside. I just get a kick out of it because it is what it is here. But I do think that people broadly are looking at this in an incorrect light. Now, there's on-chain analyst Will Clemente, and I appreciate what he does. This is not some sort of attack on him. He shares all sorts of just straight up data, and yeah, he'll share some perspective along the way, and that's fine. The data that he puts out, I find it useful. I've highlighted a bunch of stuff on my channel over the last year and a half since he's come to some degree of prominence in the world of the Bitcoin community, because I find the stuff that he shares to be useful. And so when I find it interesting and useful, there have been times where I've shared the stuff that the data he's put out on my channel. But I think that his perspective here is absolutely, unquestionably missing the mark. And it does make me wonder when I see stuff like this from people that are, strongly in the Bitcoin community. I just wonder if it's like a part of the ideology thing. I don't know if you're playing to your base effectively. I don't really know what it is. I can't get in his mind. But it's just so obviously wrong. I'm surprised because he's normally a guy that just looks at the data and can figure stuff out. So I don't know what it is, but he's unquestionably incorrect. And so not an attack on him. I think he's a sharp dude. I appreciate the stuff that he shares, but he's wrong here. And so he tweeted out the following this morning. Watching Bitcoin absolutely send during a banking crisis after regulators tried to cut off the industry has to be one of the most satisfying moments ever. Okay, except for the thing is, Bitcoin's price action has nothing to do with the fact that banks are failing. That is a misread of what is going on. It's not the case that people are viewing money as not safe in banks, therefore buying Bitcoin. That clearly, unquestionably is not the case. And if you think that it is, then I got a question. Do you still feel the same way, Will Clemente, now that we've seen the rocket ship go up very briefly and then right back down crashing to Earth? Because again, good news is that's not why this is happening. And so I tweeted this out early this afternoon, just kind of make this point. I wrote, the narrative that Bitcoin is pumping because it's a safe haven when banks fail is false. And then I shared 2 bullet points. Number 1, Bitcoin pumped Sunday even after the Fed announced Silicon Valley Bank depositors would be financially protected. And so I'll just note there, I pointed that out after that happened. I believe I pointed that out Sunday, even if I'm not mistaken. If not, then I certainly did Monday yesterday. I know I talked about it in at least one video. And the timing matched up perfect. Because I remember, actually I'm pretty damn sure it was that Sunday because I even remember the time. It came out at a weird time. It was like, it was a quarter into the hour, whatever hour it was. So I think it was 6:15 Eastern. I know it was a quarter into the hour. So I think it was 6:15 Eastern and 5:15 Central Standard Time, my time zone, because they're an hour ahead. And I remember that news breaking, and then right then it's just moved to the upside. And so you can look at a chart and you can see this. In fact, here, I'll just pull it up now. I can prove the point here. Let's go to a 7-day chart for Bitcoin. Let's go to Sunday was the 12th. How day is it? Yeah, okay, yeah, so it would have been the 12th. So let's go to the 12th, and if you go to the quarter into the hour, whatever it was, so, and this is showing my time zone here. So the closest I can get it on this chart is 5:10 p.m. Yeah, there you go. So 5 minutes after that, the news broke. What happened? Bitcoin moved to the upside. You can visually see it. This is a 7-day chart, so I don't know if it's somewhat difficult, but you can see it move to the upside right there, and then start to move sideways. And we saw some bursts after that. So that was one of them. That was known. I already talked about that. I'm pretty damn sure I talked about it right after it happened on Sunday. I made a quick video because there was breaking news that I was trying to catch. I put out a video I wasn't planning on publishing, and I'm pretty sure that's the one where I did talk about it. And so then my second bullet point was Bitcoin pumped today when the government released CPI numbers that hit targets. And that's also true. So the news broke at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And so if you go, here's the Bitcoin chart here. We'll take it back to the 24-hour chart. This is, yeah, and so this is, oh, if I might have said it wrong. So this is not my time zone. I apologize if I think I said that incorrectly a minute ago. This is live CoinWatch. This is not synced to my time zone. This is showing 7:30 a.m. So that would have been when the news broke. So it's the one that's an hour ahead of me. But anyway, the point being, you can see right here when the news broke, 7:30 a.m. And then what happened? You saw the rocket go up. That was it. It's the CPI. It's the CPI numbers. So then Bitcoin went to over $26,000, and since then it's corrected to the downside because yay, crypto, irrational, emotional people. That's what it is. That's the game that we're playing here. But look no further than that. That's it. And then I also wrote, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is or isn't a safe haven for any holder on an individual level. Some people hold it for that purpose. Some people do hold Bitcoin for that purpose. And then I wrote, I'm saying that crypto market speculators as a whole are not treating it as that. They're treating it the same as they always have, a risk-on asset. And so I think that's unquestionably true. Like I just pointed to the charts where in these moments of time, what caused Bitcoin to go to the upside, and you can track it. It's not that people have suddenly decided, oh, this is way more safe than money. No. And I'm not saying that it is or isn't. That's not the argument that I was making there. I'm just saying that's not how people are treating it. They're seeing it as a good sign that the Fed's taking care of things, in terms of bailing out depositors, making sure the depositors are protected, not the banks, but the depositors. And they see that as a sign that the economy is likely not going to go into a tailspin. So they responded favorably. It's a risk on asset. That makes all the sense in the world. Same with CPI numbers. They're responding to the federal government. So I respectfully disagree with Will Clemente, even though I do appreciate the data that he puts out there. He's just wrong on this one thing here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.